Oh.
So right there you saw like a slight twitch. Now we're just going to keep working at it.
Alright. So, welcome to the day I'm getting the treatment. So, pokes and cups and galore potentially today based on what Jeffrey asks. I'm going to let you take it away now.
Alright, so today I'm going to be doing a treatment for Josh. Now Josh has been telling me about his issues and we're going to see what I could do for him. So Josh, why don't you tell me about like your main issues, like what your chief complaint would be, what you would want me to treat you for.
So the primary issue that I've dealt with for a long time is twofold. Mid-back issues, so pain and cracking when I extend.
Okay.
As well as I have had knee pain. Something you can't do anything about in my mind, but I'm not sure, is I had a near femoral hernia. So there's a weakening in the lining of my abdomen over by that area where the base of your abs actually meet your thigh. You know a little more about the anatomy of that, but think about the V you see on the really ripped guys when they pull down their pants a little bit and they're on that magazine cover like this. That area over there, like that's kind of where the risk of the hernia was. So the inguinal hernias will be a little bit more towards that center.
Sure.
And the femoral hernia is the old lady hernia. So technically that's more for the older women. And men typically don't get that in their entire life. So I've been dealing with something not a lot of guys end up having.
Sure. So let me ask you now, how did the femoral hernia then, how does that contribute to the knee pain? Or is that separate?
None of that. These are separate things. The two that I believe can be helped, in my mind, based on my knowledge of acupuncture, would be the knee and the mid-back.
Okay. So, standard with it whenever we address pain is OPPQRST from medical doctors or from EMTs. So I'm going to be asking more about that. So in terms of your mid-back pain, when did it start?
That's been a long time. I think that it started sometime in high school with wrestling. Aside from regular soreness from workouts, the center line of the spine stuff was more early on wrestling, high school, and such. The knee pain started potentially, it was as far back as middle school. I don't feel significant amount of knee pain now because anytime that I do, I know I'm overstressing my tendons. I pull it back for a little bit and work through the pain slowly, allow myself to heal and come back into it. So that's very easily manageable for me. The back pain has been chronic my entire life, but with fluctuating amounts.
Okay.
And aside from regular soreness, like my legs are shot today,
Sure.
We talked about that, my chest is shot today, but that's regular soreness stuff. Aside from that, those are my two issues that kind of end up lagging me.
So I think
I'm sorry. This is one of those things where that first consult, you probably know people forget stuff and they say stuff.
Yeah.
I get that too, where people are like, oh yeah, I got this, oh yeah, I got that. I have epilepsy.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I have epilepsy. I have a torn rotator cuff that went undiagnosed because I fell. I tore it, and I know when I put my arm in this position, go up slightly, and rotate this way. Rear delt rotation from here, I feel like almost like my humerus is gonna like pop out the back.
Can you do that motion again?
Here?
External rotation, okay.
So that'd be rotation like this.
External, so it's pain with
It's
full
not-
adduction?
It's not external rotation, it's
This is external rotation.
internal rotation.
Oh,
here.
internal rotation.
Yeah. So it's if I come actually external, it's less.
Okay.
But I still do feel it if it's in the same position.
Okay.
So the biggest problem is going to be from here. Here I feel it. So external I do feel it, but
It's worse with internal.
yeah, it's worse with internal.
Okay.
So yeah, the external is significant. The internal
is worse.
Is more.
Okay. So, all right. So we're dealing with mid-back, torn rotator cuff, epilepsy, and a femoral and a near femoral hernia and knee pain. Okay. So if you were to just choose one or two things to work on today, which ones would they be?
Mid-back.
Okay.
And my knee pain isn't often enough to really need to do anything about it, if that
So
makes
in
sense.
that case, let's work on the mid-back and the torn rotator cuff today.
My rotator cuff doesn't bug me enough.
Okay.
These are things that I just wanted to have to consider. So the mid-back is really the primary issue that I want to address.
Okay, so let's focus on
And
that. You know, it's dependent on your
that's
fluid intake.
entirely dependent upon fluid intake and coffee intake.
So now another important question is,
So these are the torture devices that he's going to be using on me. We got some body oil over here, cupping sets, needles, some other craziness over here. Gonna be fun. I have one standing with the overhead light.
all right, so we're just going to do a few more diagnosis stuff. We're going to check his pulses. We're going to take a look at him in general. Okay, good. Just checking the pulses. All right, just looking at the face. Okay, good. The eyes, good. Okay. Final part of the diagnosis, which is the palpation part. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start observing his chest, looking at and his stomach, noticing if there's any swelling along the body, at the chest, and the abdomen. If there's any swelling in his lower limbs, which I see there isn't anything, so good. Now I'm going to place my hands, just get a general feel for the temperature of his skin, if it's any cool, if it's cold, if it's warm. So I notice that he's very balanced throughout, though I do feel his ribs are slightly cold. Could be that, it's cold in here. I'm speaking like my observations, just talking about, enunciating them, verbalizing them. All right, so now I'm going to do the pressure test. So Josh, I'm going to have you take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, I want you to let me know if you feel any tenderness as I apply pressure. So deep breath in, and exhale. Any pain or tenderness? You could say yes.
This is that weird point.
Okay.
It just feels like funky.
Okay.
Like there's like a thinness in the tissue between my inside and my out, which is what they did say on the ultrasound.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a half a millimeter of tissue between my intestines and the outside world.
Okay. All right, so we're going to keep going with it. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Let me know if you feel any tenderness or pressure. Okay.
Not other than what you'd expect.
Deep breath in.
Well, that a little bit of interaction with over here, the thinning of where I had the issue on the other side.
Okay.
A
So
little bit.
when I apply pressure here, it travels down here.
Yes, and I'm still feeling it, but it's mild and it's not pain and it's a level 1.
Okay. Deep breath in and exhale. Pain or tenderness here.
No.
Okay. Again. And exhale.
Like here, like an emptiness.
Okay.
Like up here, it feels like empty.
Okay. Deep in and exhale.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. In and exhale.
An emptiness that travels to here.
Okay.
So yeah, like an emptiness.
Deep breath in and exhale.
An emptiness that travels into here.
Okay. The last one. And exhale. Yes, no?
Nothing. There was like a little bit of like a blub. I don't know.
Okay. Now I'm just going to have you place your hands on the side, and now just let me know if there's any tenderness right around here. You can say no. Okay. Now I'm just going to diagnose your pulses really quickly. Main things I'm looking for are the rate and the strength, as well as at each of the locations where each of my 3 fingers are, as well as the depth, as well as the strength and force and rate at each depth. So here I'm doing very light pressure, just assessing the qualities. Okay, I can feel you're a little bit slow, which, it just is what it is, and pretty forceful, which is good. And I go slightly lower. Now I'm starting to feel some discrepancies and some changes in terms of the force at each of the different positions. So right now my left index finger feels slightly weak, and my left index finger feels slightly weak, and my right side, I can feel all 3 of them, but they all feel slightly weak at this middle level. Now I'm going to go to the deepest level, and now everything feels pretty strong. No discrepancies, no changes. Okay. But now also what I've noticed is I can feel all 3 pulses on each side kind of at the same time, and they all feel slightly wiry. So it kind of feels like a guitar string. So that typically means that the liver issue and simply liver chi stagnation, and it's affecting a lot of other stuff.
Like I said, liver medication.
Yes.
Maybe I could get some milk thistle in?
Potentially. All right. So, and then the final thing is for me to check the tongue. So if you could just stick your tongue out. Okay. So I noticed that there's so I'm looking at the color as well as the moisture as well as the coating. You can stick it back really quickly. If the color was slightly pale, the coating was very thick, so that's typically like a cold and maybe even excess cold. But I did notice that there was a bit of yellowness towards the back of it. Tell me, when did you drink coffee this morning? Because I know you do drink coffee throughout the day.
I last drank coffee right before I left for work at my other facility, and I have drank a little bit of water since then, but not really much.
So one more time, I'll just see. So I noticed that the sides are slightly scalloped. Okay, so I would say that you might have like some cold and maybe a little liver, so maybe like a little chi stagnation with some excess cold in your body. So all right, so now we're going to begin the actual treatment process when we come back.
Cool.
All right. Additionally, we're also going to palpate the back, because he did say that his main issue is the mid back pain. So we're just going to palpate, see for any tender areas, maybe like some tightness, maybe some spasming. All right. So Josh, I just want you to tell me, do you feel like pain or tenderness right around here?
No.
No. Okay. Now from this location, where would you feel the most pain? Up, down, left, or right?
It's like right in the center of the spine is where I would normally feel it.
Okay. So I'm right at the spine. Now from here, would you typically be lower or higher?
Go a little lower. Let me see.
Here or lower?
That's definitely the area.
How about here?
No.
Definitely here. Like right there?
It's like right along that center line. It's not the muscle on either side.
I see. Okay. So now also, do you have any so I know you typically hold the stress in, so I want to know, do you feel like any pain or tenderness around here?
Definitely tender.
Okay.
That's like really, really tender.
I'm just going to pull the pants slightly lower to expose the lower back, and let me know if you feel any tenderness around here.
No.
Slightly lateral?
No.
Where would the tenderness or pain be from here, from where my fingers are?
I don't really have a ton of tenderness in my lower back.
Okay.
Unless I'm working heavy on like deadlifts or something like that, I might get like a lower back pump.
Okay. All right. So now that we've assessed where the primary spots are, like right around here as well as here, we're gonna start the needling process. All right. So now we're actually gonna do the the actual needling part of the treatment. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the skin's clean. Just wipe down all the points with some alcohol, making sure that there's no bacteria, there's no germs on any of the points that I'm about to use.
You call me dirty?
Yes, because that is just how nature is.
Exactly.
Nature's
Nature's a dirty, dirty girl.
You said it, not me. Other hand. Next, you can actually keep your hand palms down. Palm down. Yep, just like that. And as I'm needling, like after I finish the needling process, you can just drop your hands down to the sides.
Okay.
Any pain or tenderness around here?
Less than in the traps. So yeah, definitely more lower. Like it's just so tight up there and so bound up there that it's like steel cables that don't even feel the pain and stress anymore.
Okay.
When I really stretch out, I can get a nice deep stretch all the way to the base of my skull. But like it takes like 10 minutes of stretching out my neck muscles to do that.
You can relax your hands at your sides. Getting the needles ready. So, because his pain is right at the spinal area, we're actually going to open up and basically do points for the entire spine. So the first point I'm going to start with is actually called small intestine 3. And we're going to combine that with a point called bladder 62, and that's going to help open up the entire spine because those are the master points of the back, or the dew channel as it's called. So I'm going to have Josh. I'm going to have you make a very light fist on this hand. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And if I insert the needle correctly, you should feel a slight poof sensation. Just like right there. Did you feel it, Josh?
I felt it.
Good.
And it kind of shot down my legs a little bit.
Oh, see? All right, so now you can just relax your hand and just drop this hand. Good. Now we're going to do it on the ankle because we want to go in almost like a figure 8 circle kind of pattern. So again, bladder 62. Deep breath in and exhale. Right there. Should you feel a slight poof sensation?
Nothing.
No? Okay. Sometimes you do, sometimes you won't, but we can always try again.
Is that actually in?
I took it out.
Oh.
Deep breath in.
Oop, felt it.
And right there.
It kind of went upward.
Alright, so now we did one cross line. Now we're going to go back the other way in a figure 8. And exhale. Right there.
Yeah, that was definitely proof.
So I'm going to have you make a light fist on this side now. Deep breath in. And exhale.
That one was definitely very mild compared to the other hand.
Mm-hmm. So now you can just drop your hands down.
So the left hand was a much more poof.
Mm-hmm. All right, now we're going to be doing liver 3 and large intestine 4. The two of those in combination will also help move everything because he has been diagnosed with liver qi stagnation, and what that means is his energy is very stuck. That's typically brought on from over stress and anxiety, and when you're stressed, you hold all that tension, hold all that energy, so it's not able to move freely. So what we want to do is we actually want to move it and help him move it. So I'm going to start with the liver 3, and that's actually on the pedal surface of the foot. Take a deep breath in, and exhale. How was that, Josh?
That's good.
Good.
I definitely felt it.
Okay. We're going to do it on the other foot as well. Deep breath in. And exhale.
I felt that one a little less.
Okay. And those 2 points, when combined, liver 4 and LI3, are called 4 gates. It's a very common point combination. Slow point.
So how do the needles work? Are they all fresh? Is there sterilization?
So these needles the needles I'm using are all individually packaged and are all sterilized beforehand. Made sure to be clean, and that's why we clean the skin, so that way no foreign pathogens are pushed into your body.
So I do know in surgery they re-sterilize. Do you re-sterilize, or is it all new needles?
The needles are disposable, and each needle that we use is completely new.
Interesting.
All right, so now we're going to go with spoon 3. This is because, again, so with liver qi overacting on spleen, that's his real issue. So liver overacting on spleen is liver qi stagnation combined with spleen qi deficiency. So spleen 3, or also known as the shoestring or even the yuan source point of the
That one
spleen
definitely shot up the inside of my calf.
channel.
But I also felt like relaxation after it.
Yes. So going back to this, spleen 3 is the yuan source and shoestring point on the spleen channel, and so that's very good for tonifying the organ as well as the channel itself. So we're going to do it on the other side as well. Deep breath in and exhale. Right there. Not as much.
It's significantly less.
Okay.
That left one was the huge one.
Next up, we're going to go to spleen 6, which is to tonify the spleen, liver, and kidney. So it's a very good point and a very commonly used point. Deep breath in and exhale. Not too bad.
Yeah, not too bad. It was more pressure.
So typical sensations when you're feeling the needle, it's either a soreness or it could be a pressure. Sometimes it could be a poof, an expansion, even a zap.
That one was a very mild one.
Okay. Next one we're going to be doing is spleen 9, because he does have some dampness, and as I'm still treating him, I can have like that slight smell of like stagnated water. Josh, you may have your dryer is not working or something, but the smell is there, so that's why I'm treating it for. And also earlier, we were talking about some of the things that you had, and so it does lead me to believe that you do have some dampness. So again, we're using spleen 9 as a very good damp draining point. Deep breath in and exhale. Right there. Not too bad.
I felt it pop up in my right, hand needle. I don't know the name.
Okay.
But by my pinky.
Ah.
So it popped up in that one. Definitely feeling a little bit of twitching in my body though.
Next 2 points that are very important are going to be gallbladder 34. This is a very good point to help with stagnant liver qi. Deep breath in and exhale.
Ooh, that one really went down the front of my calf, tib anterior.
Now tell me, Josh, did you ever roll your ankle when you were younger?
I've rolled my ankle many times.
So that point is also just so happens to be one of the motor points, and I believe also the trigger point of your peroneus longus muscle.
Oh,
so that's
wow.
why, as I was needling it, I noticed that the muscle jumped.
Yep, I felt it.
So it's a twofer. You get the release of the stagnation as well as the muscle getting released. Not so much on this side.
The right side, I have a very tough time separating out my right pinky toe and activating, like just opening up that foot in general. That felt really good on the right side though.
Okay. And we're still filming. You can just cut the parts out where I'm preparing your needles.
Yep. I'm getting like shaking and twitching. This is wild.
Yeah.
My lower back is actually getting some achiness to it.
It could be from your posture, if anything. Because I actually don't have any points to treat your lower back right now. Well, but I'm about to.
It's like just above the sacrum. To the
Would you
right.
like me to put a needle in there, Josh?
I'm in whatever, however you feel going about it. I'm just letting you know what I'm feeling in my body.
Okay. So like right around this area?
A little bit to the right. Yeah, that's it.
Is it on this side as well?
No, just on that right side, a little bit up.
So I'm actually just going to pull this down slightly, and then I'm going to put a needle in there as well. But we can say that, I'll do it now. So any point that's typically very tender, it's typically what we refer to as an osher point. But this point, because it's, where is it? Right here, right there.
Maybe, yeah. It's right in that area, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh, no, not yet.
that's interesting.
So, yeah, so this looks like the location's a bit off, so I would say this is an osher point. So I'm just gonna have you take a deep breath in and exhale.
Yeah, definitely felt like that
Right there,
flick.
right there.
Yeah, felt good.
Okay.
I think my right glute is relaxed.
Nice.
And that pressure's gone.
The pressure
Yeah, that tension is gone.
in your lower back?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So now we're going to be doing, so we talked earlier as to how he had liver chi stagnation. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a point called the back chute of the liver point, or bladder 18. Now the back is very good because it has all the back chute points, which help tonify as well as also just balance and harmonize the organs that they're associated with. So what we're going to do is right now we're going to first go and we're going to be doing the liver back chute, the spleen back chute, as well as the kidney. We're doing the liver because that was the thing that's overacting. The spleen because that's the point that's the organ that's a bit deficient, and the kidney because that way we can boost everything up as well in general. So I'm going to find. Okay. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And with the back chute points, they're not really going to be typically too reactive compared to the other points. So Josh, you probably didn't feel too much there.
Yeah, very, very, very mild.
Yeah. So right now I'm just going along with the vertebra, specifically the spinous processes of the vertebra. And so that way I can, because bladder 18,
That was interesting.
So bladder 18 is located off of the 8th thoracic vertebra. Bladder 20 is located off of the 11th. And now right there, Josh jumped a little bit, and I actually take the blame for that one because what happened was if I insert the needle through the layers of skin too slowly, the pain's gonna be kind of sharp. So Josh, was the pain there more on the sharp side or kind of like a dull throbbing?
That was definitely sharp.
So yeah. So that typically means that I inserted the needle too quickly, so I apologize for that, Josh.
Oh, that's fine.
It happens.
That is A-okay, man. I'm just appreciative to get this experience, you know.
Of course. Thank you for allowing me to come onto your platform. Now, bladder 22 is
That
all.
one I felt
sorry.
like nothing.
Bladder 23, misspoke. Bladder 23 is right off of the second lumbar vertebra.
So do you have any facilities you work at that you want to promote?
Right now, I work at Hika Health and Wellness. If you're a school teacher, or if you're a teacher, if you're a New York State worker, we primarily take night shift. And I'm also available for private bookings. I charge about $75 an hour, or sorry, $75 a session, and sessions typically come with the full intake, the needling, and any other modalities I may think is necessary. So it's typically like if you choose, I'll do cupping, and if I think or if you want it, or if it's necessary, I'll even do a electric stim on the needles for you.
They've actually done studies recently on the electric stim needles, and you could go deeper into that on the understanding wise, but that was the ones that really interested me. Those were done on mice and rats, if I'm correct.
Yes. I have not actually looked at the study, so you would know more about it than I do.
Honestly, it was just interesting, the interaction with the fascia. So the way that you move the needle as you put it in, when someone who's trained in this, it interacts with the fascia and then the stem. I don't know, man. Again, this is your field. If you read the study, it would make a lot more sense to you. But it was very cool.
So, would you say that this was where you had the most amount of pain, or is it more here?
I'm not. It's definitely disappearing now. Let's see now. If I had to say, that would be
Right here?
then maybe a little bit above. Yeah, that would be the spot, but it definitely traveled upward from where it initially was.
And right there?
Yeah,
Alright.
maybe a little bit below that, but yeah.
So there are also points along, like inside the spine, the spaces between the spinous processes of each vertebra. And that point that I just did was right at the T5 thoracic vertebra, which is due 11. And Josh did say that he occasionally has some heart palpitations. That point is right in line with the heart shoe points. And he did say that the point also does go to the front of the chest. So we would use it for that reason. In acupuncture, we could treat the back in order to treat the front.
My hands are getting a little cold,
Okay.
so I don't know if that
I've
is something you consider.
Here, I want to put the heat lamp on you.
Again, I was just gonna say I don't know if that's something that you'd consider in chi or.
We're just gonna put this up here. So that's typically, it's just cool room in here.
Okay, yeah. I just know that I like when people communicate more with me during sessions rather than less. So.
All right. So now we're going to actually start addressing the neck as well as the shoulders. So there are the 2 points I'm going to be doing are going to be gallbladder 20 and gallbladder 21. So the 2 points I'm going to be doing on his neck are going to be gallbladder 20, and then the 2 points on his traps, because he has very tight traps, are going to be gallbladder 21. These points are going to be fantastic for releasing those two muscles, for releasing that big muscle. As you know, the traps go from the base of the neck down to the scapulas, to like the shoulders and the shoulder blades, and then all the way down to here. So that's a big muscle, and a lot of people hold a lot of tension there. So what we're first going to do is we're going to feel right here, right there, Josh, is tender.
It's not tender. It's just like
Very tight.
I call it like the cord of steel up there.
Yes, it's very tight from what I'm feeling, and you could see as I'm palpating it, it feels almost like a paintbrush, and I'm just like I feel this, and then I just glide right over it. Very, very tight. So deep breath in and exhale.
I felt like tingling down the sides of my arms.
Mm-hmm. Is it still tingling?
No,
Okay.
It was quick.
Okay.
But not like an instantaneous thing, it like rippled down.
Deep breath in and exhale. Good?
Yeah, it did not happen there.
Yeah, the angle of the needle is different. Alright, it just happens. Okay, now we're going to be releasing the traps, and my theory is that, Josh, do you tend to have headaches that travel up from here, up your neck towards your head?
Oh yeah.
So that is the textbook pattern of a trigger point. And a trigger point is a very tight band of muscle that causes referred pain elsewhere. And the way that he just described it is actually tells me that the trapezius has a trigger point. So we're actually going to release that right now, and I'm actually going to take you in closer to see it because it's very cool.
I usually foam roll it.
Yes.
That's how I would the standard release. It's so wild when I feel the needles move.
So what I'm going to do next, so I'm about to needle the bladder 21, or the trigger point of the trapezius, and it just so happens to be located where the point gallbladder 21 is located as well. So we're going to pinch actually at the muscle, and I could right now as I kind of roll my fingers back and forth, I could feel that tight band. All right. So now I'm actually going to have Josh take a deep breath in, and now as you exhale, blow it all out. Now I'm going to insert the needle into the muscle. Oh, it's so tight that it's hard to get through. So now I'm into the muscle layer. Now I'm just going to pull at the needle, and you should see and feel a twitching.
Oh.
So right there you saw like a slight twitch. Now we're just going to keep working at it.
Oh.
So right there you saw like a slight twitch. Now we're just going to keep working at it. So if anything, I'm actually going to go with another needle right next to it. I think I might have missed the first one. It's okay, it happens. We're just going to try again. Deep breath in and exhale. There's that twitch that I was talking about. There's that twitch that I was talking about.
Ooh.
And I know it didn't show up on camera, but that time it was palpable, and I think Josh felt it too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
And there's another one. So what I'm doing is I'm inserting the needle into the muscle layer, and as I'm pulling it, think of a soldier at basic training. The needle is the equivalent of the drill sergeant yelling at him. Drop down, do push-ups. Get up, do squat jumps. Down, give me crunches. Go, go, go. Run 100 meters that way. Stop, turn around. Get down, push-ups. And the muscle, being the good soldier, is twitching, saying, yes, drill sergeant, yes, drill sergeant.
Oh.
Now, eventually, the muscle is not physically possible of maintaining and keeping up with it, so it has to eventually release. Now, Josh, tell me, is it still as bad as when I first started?
No, but every now and then you'll hit a point where it'll just like jump again.
So actually, from just working at it, it actually feels a lot softer now.
Yeah.
It didn't, because he has years of built-up tension and tightness, it's not going to go away immediately. But by the end of this, I predict that he'll be about maybe 50% better.
It definitely already feels a lot looser.
Yes.
Like weirdly looser. Like when I foam roll, it gets like 25% better. I'm already like 35% better, like 40% better.
Now we're just going to do the other side.
And everyone in my family can benefit from this. Holy shit.
Now we're just going to do the other side. And exhale. Oh, you guys saw that twitch there? Okay. So it doesn't look like he's as bad on his right side as he is with his left. You know, it's fine. Everyone is different. Everyone has different issues, and everyone has some slight imbalances. It is what it is, not a big deal.
My right trap is less tight and allows my right shoulder to fall further away from my ear. My left trap is a little bit tighter and pulls that shoulder up. And my right lat is a little bit tighter, which pulls my shoulder down.
Alright guys, so now that all the needles are in, we're just going to let them sit for about 25 to 30 minutes.